Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors, Tim and Julie Harris. This is the #1 daily radio show for realtors looking for a no BS, authentic, real-time coaching experience. What's really working in today's market, how to generate more leads, make more money, and have more time for what you love in your life. And now your hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
Welcome back. We are focusing on how to make over, dear listener, $100,000 in the next 100 days. Now, I emphasize the fact that it's over $100,000 in the next 100 days because some of you are going to make far more than that based on your pendings. So adjust accordingly. If you've already got $100,000 that's closing this week, how about this? Maybe you adjust your goals so that you're going to make $300,000, $500,000, $1 million. And I have to say, going into the rest of the year, considering the inventory in many of the major markets is higher than it's been in years, and that the interest rates are definitely on the decline, the wind is at your back now more than probably any time in the last 3 years.
Absolutely, 100% true, and we're so excited about that. It's all we're talking about. So you can adjust accordingly. For some of you, you can take this exact plan and add an additional 100, an additional 200,000 to your next 100 days or your next quarter, however you set up your days. For some of you, you might change this to a 30-day plan. So you can adjust accordingly. The points are the same.
I want to thank all of you for the off-the-charts positive feedback we had on we've been having on all the podcasts we've been doing as pertains to the new buyer agent commission sharing law stuff, right? All the things. And we've done a whole bunch of podcasts and training and coaching on this. And I really adore all the feedback we're getting for so many of you who are now feeling more confident knowing that you're going to know how to handle all these changes that are upon us right now. And remember, we are going to soon be opening the doors to the Ethical Real Estate Professional designation. And that is our designation, which is going to focus on really differentiating you in the marketplace as far as an exclusive buyer's agent. You will know more about this soon, but here's the thing I need you to take seriously. We are going to be selling 100 of these designations, probably at the end of this month, if not into September. Only 100. Why? Because this is a coaching program. It's going to be a 30-day coaching program that's going to include 4 coaching calls, which frankly, Julie and I will probably do ourselves. In addition to that, a presentation that you're going to use when presenting to buyers. Your USPs. We've defined all this for you. Your scripts, your objection handlers, sample buyer agency contracts. Everything, all the things, an FAQ for you, an FAQ for the buyer. We have spent literally hours and hours on this, probably over 100 hours at this point, and this is going to be one of our hallmark products. You definitely want to get on the list. We're going to be selling 100 of these destinations starting in a few weeks, and then we're closing the doors to another 30 to 45 days, and then we're going to open the doors again for another 100 agents that are going to join and get the designation. Because again, this is a coaching program, and frankly, we don't want to be overwhelmed and overwhelm our staff. You want to be on this list. That is your immediate action item. So text the word buyer, B-U-Y-E-R, to 47372. Text the word buyer, B-U-Y-E-R, to 47372. Even if you're not sure that you actually need this in your life, you want to be on the list because you don't want to be excluded and have to wait 3 or 4 or maybe even 6 months to become a designee of Ethical Real Estate Professional. So text the word buyer, B-U-Y-E-R, to 47372. All right, Julie, let's jump right in.
On to how to make at least $100,000 in the next 100 days. Launch yourself into success this quarter with the next 100 days being the most successful you've ever experienced, with rates finally decreasing, potentially by as much as a full point, and inventory increasing. You are poised to roar for the next part of 2024. So don't wait until the calendar flips to get into action. I know some of you guys had sat back and decided, well, rates are going to stay high and inventory's low. Well, all of that's changed. So don't sit back and wait for the calendar to flip. We're going to show you how on this podcast series. This is a succinct series of 4, starting with today's part 1.
You need to be put on notice that even though you might be going into a slower cycle of your year, your buyers and your sellers who are also buyers, because the rates are lower, because there's going to be more homes for sale, what they would have maybe done 6 months ago as far as putting their home for sale or a buyer buying a home, they're going to be doing now. So there's going to be an abnormal buying curve and selling curve that's really going to essentially bring the spring 2025 market into this year. That's how you've got to be, re-gearing your mind. So some of you kind of are on a downward landing pattern. It usually starts September and October, and then let's just be honest, most agents are they're taking the rest of the year off after Halloween practically, it seems. Don't be like that, because you're going to miss the opportunity to be essentially part of what we really do feel is a meaningful recovery to housing that's lasted. This downward market, this really housing recession, if not depression, has been going on 3 or 4 years. It has come to an end. Interest rates are going to continue to fall. And you need to definitely be aware of the fact that your buyers and your sellers are going to be in the marketplace. Make sure you're there to transact with them.
100% couldn't agree more. Now, keep in mind that the average sale price in the United States is currently $426,000. That's a new record. Came out, I think, a week ago with that number, $426,000, which makes the average commission about $12,000, give or take. And then you take about 20% of expenses, you get down to about $9,600 per deal. That means you only need 10 deals to make $100,000 in 100 days. 10 deals. Everyone listening to this podcast can 100% accomplish this goal, assuming that they follow the plan. Keep in mind, most of you, we know because we talked to the coaches, most of you have at least 10 buyers in your pipeline that have been waiting for rates to come down.
We have close to 4,000 agents that are involved in one of our coaching programs or part of our EXP group. And I know, for a fact that many of you have average sale prices that are over $1 million. So you only have to sell like a handful of houses to make over $100,000.
Which was my next note. Indeed, if your average sale price is closer to $1 million, you only need 5 deals to make $100,000 in the next 100 days. So again, adjust accordingly. Maybe you can do that in 30 days. Maybe you can do, twice that. But once you've done this plan the first time, then you can lather, rinse, and repeat. Some of our most successful coaching clients prefer the 100-day sprint versus a yearly plan.
You and I did, frankly,
Yes.
when we sold real estate.
Still do.
I have to say, exactly. I was about to say that. We've been more productive in the last, I'd say really 3 weeks than we probably have been in the last 3 months getting EREP done, ethical real estate professional done. Many people are like that. So here's a good incentive for you. Maybe you guys are like Julie and I, and a hard stop or a deadline really does work to motivate you to kind of clarify the thinking. What are your priorities and you're on your to-do list? The holidays are only 6 months away. Whether you're, whatever your religion is, let's just, accept the fact that you want to have a really nice holiday and you want to spoil all your loved ones. And don't forget Julie and I this year. You guys forgot us last year for Christmas,
It's not too late to fix that.
Exactly. So here's a thought for you. Why don't you have a goal of making the holiday season, making the Christmas season, making it the best ever for you and your family and your loved ones? Like off the charts, extraordinary, just something that will be forever the benchmark for all future holidays, right? Maybe it's a vacation. Maybe it's just buying your kids a bunch of presents. Maybe it's buying you a present or your loved ones. You get the idea? Maybe it's donating money to a charity. Maybe it's taking meaningful time off so you can participate in some community activities. Have a specific goal that you're emotionally attached to. Imagine what it's going to feel like on Christmas morning when you see your family so grateful for the fact that you've been able to, or Santa has been able to, essentially spoil them with all these amazing presents. I mean, think about that, how that's going to make you feel. Does that motivate you? Does that make you feel excited? Me telling you this makes me feel excited for you.
Yes, and I'm going to give them a bonus.
Uh-oh.
It's okay if maybe you're somebody that it's got to be 10 houses because your average runs about the same average as the country. Maybe one of those is your home.
Uh-oh.
Maybe you should go home shopping. Maybe you set it up so that after 5 new pendings, you go home shopping and you become one of your 10. That's okay too. Just trying to find ways to motivate you.
Well, that's a killer idea. Just along those lines, it is very realistic to believe. Debate it if you want to, Julie, because I know you've been working on this all day, writing articles for Housing Wire and Florida Association of Realtors. I don't even know who you're writing articles for. But here's the thing. Do you believe that it's possible that interest rates will be between 5 and 5.5% sometime in the next 6 months or less?
Yes, I think so.
Isn't that incredible? And we were celebrating being happy if interest rates were 6.5 to 7%.
I was happy with 6 anything.
Exactly. Anything that started with a 6 handle was great news. Now there's every reason to believe that the interest rates are going to be falling down to the 5s. How many of your clients are going to be able to refinance, going to be able to lower your house payments? You guys get it? The new boom is here, provided that the rates continue to do what they've been doing. Go ahead.
Exactly. So decide now when you'll start your 100-day sales streak. Chart it on your calendar and count work days versus non-work days. It doesn't have to be 100 consecutive days. Of course, you can take some time off. You're going to need a break now and then. You may have some other plans. You've got the holidays coming up, so adjust accordingly, but do commit to a 100-day sales streak.
So, Julie, what would be the types of commitments you're suggesting for everyone?
Well, you mean in terms of sales or the rules? We're talking about the rules to commit to before you accept your $100,000 challenge for 100 days. So what are you going to have to commit to and accept? And then on the next podcast, we're going to do the actual plan. So here's the rules that you play by. Rule number A, you will have to actively contact, talk to both people that you already know and those that you don't know. Now, caveat to that. Some of you actually do have enough leads in your pipeline that when you talk to them and you take them seriously, I can name coaching clients who have enough leads that now that rates are lower and they have inventory to sell them, they probably can get 3 people at least in contract this week. So that might be you. If not, you're going to have to ask. So you're going to have to talk to people you don't know as well.
Well, let's level off there. So if that is you, and we've been telling all of our coaches, 13 coaches to do the same thing, have all the clients go and call all their leads and all their databases and pre-qualify them, pre-qualify them in many cases for their motivation now that the rates have fallen. Because you will find a lot of people who had sort of silently started to ghost you, maybe they open your emails occasionally, maybe they respond to you occasionally, are going to be completely hyped up because now they're seeing more homes for sale. They're getting more pings in their email from Zillow and Realtor.com about new listings. They're knowing that the interest rates have fallen. Their home ownership dreams or their more move-up home ownership dreams or whatever it is are about to become a reality. That does not mean you're going to be transacting with them just because you've been dripping on them. You need to call them. You need to have the same level of energy and enthusiasm that Julie and I have every day on this podcast and get them excited and motivated about the new market, about what they can be taking advantage of. Do not procrastinate. Otherwise, you're going to allow somebody else to come in there and take what would have been your business.
Yes, because your leads, as well as to your point, the database, and that is part of point A, a certain percentage of them are reading the same headlines you are. They're listening to the same facts. Rates are coming down and inventory is going up. And guess what they're doing? They're planning on going to open houses this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
With or without you.
Or build, or build.
New construction.
And don't let the whole thing that's happening with the commission sharing losses, do not allow that to cloud the opportunity that a changing market like this presents to you. Many of you have been waiting, whether you know it or not, for 2, 3, 4 years for this market to come your way. It is here. This is the right place at the right time. We're going to square you away when it comes to the buyer agent commission stuff. Go back and listen to our past podcasts. Great feedback when we interviewed the head broker of eXp Realty, and she and Julie and I were masterminding on all of this. Listen to those past podcasts. Get ready to become a member of Ethical Real Estate Professional Designation. Text the word buyer, BUYER, to 47372. Point number B.
So point number B, you should know where your business came from last year and so far this year and keep doing what has worked.
I'm going to
commit to doing more of what's worked. And I've got a quick example here.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Okay. So for example, if you had 5 transactions from repeat clients, but you didn't have a system to speak with your database regularly, or you haven't been making those calls, haven't been talking to them, well, how many more repeat clients could you create this year by being more drilled down on that source of business? For example, calling 100% of the people in your database, talking to them about lower rates, talking to them about higher inventory. How many more could you do if you've already gotten some business there without actually having a system?
So here's what I would do if I were you guys. First of all, whatever your end of year, I know it's June, July, August, it's not really end of the year, but you also know, if we're being honest, that many of you were already starting to think about next year's goals and sort of putting your feet up in a figurative way on your desk in preparation for the end of the year. Don't do that. Put your feet down, be boots on the ground, take full action. So inside our Premier Coaching Program, in the first level, which you get for free when you join Premier, you can go to premiercoaching.com or just text the word Premier to 47372. Just go to premiercoaching.com or text the word Premier to 47372. There's something called our 90-day massive action plan. We're giving you an overview and we're giving you some good information. But for those of you who are, frankly smart and ready to go to the next level, join Premier Coaching. What the heck are you waiting for? It doesn't cost you anything for the first month. And follow the 90-day massive action plan exactly. Because again, this is a podcast. We've only got you for 20 or 30 minutes. We're only going to give you an overview. The next natural step for all of you is to join Premier Coaching. So go to premiercoaching.com or text the word Premier to 47372, and the system will text you back a link to join. And then when you're in there, definitely download the 90-day massive action plan. It tells you exactly what you should be doing every single day for guess how long? You got it the next 90 days. And I'm going to throw on some ideas for you. This is all part of the 90-day massive action plan. If you're truly serious about building massive action into 2025, you want to be doing open houses, but you have to do smart open houses. You want to think about what you're going to be doing to show appreciation to your centers of influence past clients for the holidays. Maybe you're going to do, we have lots of ideas in Premier Coaching. You can do it just a get together. You're going to, of course, mail them some sort of holiday card. You're going to want to maybe rent a movie theater. You're going to do something that's going to really build on the momentum and the fact that you're really truly part of their lives in the community and you're there to give back. Think big, because 2025 could be the makeup year for the past 3 years, right? It will be for many agents. There's many agents that have been sort of silently and quietly suffering for the past 3 years. And this is going to be what we believe is going to be the start of a long-term real estate recovery, where you're going to be able to build back what you may have lost and even, multiply that by 1,000%. But you cannot be complacent and do not wait till 2025. You're looking for the motivation now. I promise you, you're going to find it within Premier Coaching. Text the word Premier to 47372 or go to premiercoaching.com.
That's right. It's so funny. We talk so much about pent-up demand from buyers and 3 offers to every one closing. What about the pent-up realtor demand, right? I mean, everybody's been wanting the market to bounce back, the sales to increase, the inventory to go up, the rates to go down. We've got that too. So make sure you're participating in it.
Here's what's truly wacky.
Yeah.
So we know there's every reason to believe right now there's going to be a huge swing back towards a hot market. But at the same time, there's also more expireds than there's been in a long damn time.
True.
So a smart agent would join Premier, learn how to hunt expireds, start taking some listings, and obviously that's going to be the easy button to get your 10 transactions in 100 days. And we're going to teach you to do that as part of Premier Coaching. But that's the weird thing. Expiring inventory, and yet we know that there is going to be a surge of buyers coming into the marketplace. So this is your opportunity, your little 30 to 60 day window to learn how to work expireds, pick up some expired listings. This is the easiest way to get in front of sellers. I just told you, expired listings, and then you can actually get ahead of the curve. A lot of people ask us about how can I get expired listing information. We've made it easy for you. Text the word RED, R-E-D, to 47372. Text the word RED, R-E-D, as in the color, R-E-D, to 47372. And then that's for RedX. And what we'll do then is send you an exclusive link from, when you text RED to 47372, that saves you $150 when joining RedX. RedX will take the time, find all the expireds in your marketplace with the phone numbers, property information, so you will then simply be able to follow our scripts, turn on your computer, make the calls, and know what to say and how to say it. They scrub for do not call. They scrub to make sure it didn't get relisted. You're going to be in a powerful position. Again, I really beg all of you not to procrastinate. So if you're ready, if you're already a Premier Coaching student and you're ready to go to the next level, text the word RED, R-E-D, to 47372.
So funny how you gave me the perfect segue without even knowing it, because the rule number C.
Well, why don't you read this?
I'm about to.
Okay.
You have to be willing to do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. That's part of it being a business day. Keep doing what you're doing and you'll keep getting what you're getting. For some of you, that's okay, but most of you want more and you want it faster. So you've got to go to the next level financially. You've got to go to the next level with your skills, your discipline, and your consistency. So the reason I was laughing is because you're just talking about expireds. Here is our case in point. One of our coaches in training, Ken Gould, who is in Phoenix. He's also a current elite coaching client of mine.
And man, is he going to be a great coach for us.
Absolutely. And by the way, our coaches have all been through our coaching. So he's another good example. He recently found some fantastic results by embracing consistency and discipline. He identified about 100 expired homes in his market, dedicated just 2 days to calling, made 11 contacts, sent 3 pre-listing packages, and expects to list, based on the conversations, at least 2 of those 3 homes, maybe all 3. That's a great ratio of contacts versus opportunities, and all of it was for free. That's about $30,000 to $40,000 worth of income minimum for in his market with his leads. It may be as much as double that from less than a week of focused work. And I asked Ken, what was the difference last week? He said, I took it a lot more seriously. I time blocked. I got my expired contacts all organized. I made sure that I talked to them. I used the script. I was focused. I wasn't multitasking. And look at the results. So 11 contacts, 3 pre-listing packages, 3 real conversations, potentially 2 to 3 listings. That's a really great ratio.
So Ken, I know you're listening. So I challenge you, and Julie and I both challenge you. Why don't you even make your challenge a little bit harder, Ken? 10 listings taken and listings sold in the next 100 days. Don't hit the easy button with buyers.
Oh, well, now that he's unlocked the discipline, this is entirely possible. Absolutely. So, speaking of which, yes, it is true that all of our coaches actually sell real estate. Little known fact, but now it's not. Okay, so point number D, you touched on just a second ago before we were highlighting Ken. You must ask for help when you need it. Don't waste time reinventing the wheel, sampling, trying things out, or waiting. Get help from our Harris certified coaches and join Premier Coaching. Tim was talking to you about that a second ago. I don't know why anybody would try to navigate the real estate wilds by themselves right now.
I do. They're not serious about the real estate.
Maybe they're not ready yet.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, no, you just said something, so let's just have an honest conversation
Sure.
with these guys, okay?
Sure.
So there's supposedly something like 1.5 million members of the National Association of Realtors. Half of those agents don't sell anything.
True.
Right? And the other half that sell something, they sell, I don't remember how many. So if you really drill down on the numbers, of all the members of the National Association of Realtors, most of the business is being done by less than 400,000 agents.
Sure.
So realistically, if you're part of the 50% that's not serious about your business, and I'm not talking
That's
about
fine.
I'm not talking about new agents that are trying to get their mojo, or I'm not talking about agents that are, rebuilding their businesses. I'm just talking about, I can know an agent who's not serious about their business. They're just a hobbyist and like to have their license. Maybe they listen to our podcast, though I don't think we have many like that listen to our podcast.
not.
But yes, they're not going to want to sign up for coaching because they know they're not really serious and they know they're not ready to be held accountable and take their businesses to the next level.
It's true. It is a serious thing to sign up for coaching, to ask for help, to have maybe some skill and experience deficit identified, and then have some accountability and some learning that's got to take place. But here's the thing. We all believe strongly in the motto, earn while you learn, right? So, for example, you don't have to be the world's most spectacular expired hunter that has every script in the universe memorized, and you've done 5 million role plays. You don't have to do that in order to be successful listing expireds. The more you do, the better you're going to get, the faster you're going to get at it, the more expertise, the more comfortable you're going to be. And that's okay.
We're talking about expireds because Julie and I really adore expireds. If you were to ask us what we would do if we were to get back into selling real estate full time, it'd be centers of influence and past clients, and depending on our market, it'd be expired listings. They are such a gold mine, especially in a changing market like this. So you have now your action items. You know what you have to do from today's podcast. Tomorrow is day 2. We're going to start getting into the weeds about the plan. Have a fantastic day. We'll talk with you on the show tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.